There's a beauty pageant called Miss Universe. Every time there's someone from Earth winning it. Other planets are jealous of her.
Mother Earth is helping Arya and Arya is helping the Mother Earth to get back its beauty. So
It's a casual puzzle adventure game about chain reaction. Hi, I'm Chirag Chopra from Lucid Labs.
hello, I'm Satyam Bhatt. I'm a game designer at Lucid Labs and you are watching me at Games Meet in India.
On IGN India. So Lucid Labs started in 2015 after I completed my master's in game design from a college in Pune. And after that, I already had in mind I wanted to make games, and this was something that I wanted to do for my entire life, but which is how I thought it's better to get an education in the field and just a general know-how before jumping right into it. So I completed my master's, worked as a game designer in a few companies for a few years, and started the studio, indie studio, with the idea of making novel premium experiences with light-hearted storytelling. Right during the end of the course, we participated in a game jam, we won, and we didn't have a name to call ourselves. And lucid dreaming was something I was personally very fond of as a concept. So we just randomly said Lucid Labs. That's how the whole thing started. We look for experiences where we don't sell them as games, we create connections basically with the player, and we look for these novel concepts, novel ideas that are maybe too experimental or too ambitious to be a game. And then we think about converting it into an accessible experience where not only 10 people in the world can enjoy it, but we make it open enough, casual enough, so that it could be enjoyed by everyone. And after the jam game, we made a game called Stay Mum, which was about a story of a single mother raising her son and the challenges around it. It was too niche, too experimental. Maybe that's why it caught up attention in the media that there are these guys in India making games on such topics. And Apple, Google, they all loved the idea of these games, and that gave us the confidence that, okay, there might be a market for this. So after Stay Mum, we did Possessions, which was a turning point in the studio. That studio not only brought us on the map and commercially laid down the foundation for the studio to keep doing that. And for Possessions, we got incubated by Google under the accelerator program for 8 months. And right after that, we got into Apple Arcade, which was Apple's subscription platform, the first mobile platform. And to our surprise, on Apple WWDC keynote, where they announced these iPhones and all that, we saw our game being announced there, and that was like a complete shocker. So Possessions was like the game that we made on Apple Arcade. And then Bloom, following up on the success and learnings, another casual puzzle. But this time we made an in-game editor where people can make their own levels and so on. And it went on to, won about 5-6 Game of the Year awards last year, and, established the idea of that, okay, we might be onto something. So Bloom is a casual puzzle adventure game about chain reactions. At its core, it's a grid-based puzzle where you tap blocks and form a certain chain reaction to reach the goal. But because it's a Lucid Labs games, we don't just focus on mechanics and levels and puzzles. We always think about how else can we connect to the player. And there's one thing that we keep telling everyone: people don't relate or connect with blocks, squares, or circles in a game. They connect with characters, they connect with emotions. And if we can give them another reason to come back to our game, why not? So the story is about a very quirky story which started with the idea. There's a beauty pageant called Miss Universe, but every time there's someone from Earth winning it, right? Why are not other planets invited? That was like the base about let's do a story on that. And it evolved into something where you are trying to help Earth get back its beauty because other planets are jealous of her winning the Miss Universe every year. And on the sidelines, it's a story about a girl and a dog they get somehow involved in this story of saving Earth because they love berries and they want the berries back. So it's a very quirky mess of these things happening. You're trying to solve these issues while you play a game, a grid-based level game.
So mostly when it comes to communicating an idea to a player, we start with just giving a basic info of the info about what's going on. So it can be a small cutscene as well, but here we focus mostly, like, after giving the cutscene, we just want the player to experience the gameplay and then giving them small snippets of the narrative that is going on. Also, we don't want the narrative to be very extensive so that the player is juggling two things. If the puzzles are hard, then the narrative should be very easy and should come as a delight or as a gift for them. So currently at Lucid Labs, if we want to like balance the narrative, and if it's the narrative is as extensive as it is in Bloom, then what we do, like, start with a cutscene and then give them some amount of gameplay, and then give them small cutscenes with that depict what's going on. Like an instance where Arya, the female character, is helping out some other guy to overcome his problems. So that is like a very small cutscene of like 10 seconds, and then in the another cutscene, Arya is being helped by the Mother Earth to rescue Bo. So now we can get this feeling that Mother Earth is helping Arya, and Arya is helping the Mother Earth to get back its beauty. So there are like these small snippets after gameplay that communicate what the basic idea is. So currently, like, the game, for the first 80 levels that are in the campaign, all the levels are similar for all the players, because it is a single player experience and also an offline experience. But we also have a UGC where the players can create their own levels, and we are constantly getting levels from the players. So if the player feels the need of like playing more levels, then they can definitely go to UGC, and then they'll get their unique experience, because all those levels are randomized and they can just choose whatever they want, and that same level won't be played by any other player that they know, and there won't be any tutorial of that similar level as well, because now we have 500 plus levels on UGC. And when it comes to tutorials on YouTube, I think so for the players who get stuck on those levels and they are curious about to know those that answer, then definitely that they can just go to that tutorial and just watch it and then progress through the story. And some people play games for the story, and definitely that gives them the boost to just continue, keep going, and just finish the entire game by watching the tutorials online. So I think so it's nice that there are tutorials online that help player to just complete the game.
So with Bloom, now that we have a polished, solid, polished product with so many awards behind it, we know the people like it, and we are diving into the console era now, and Possessions would be our first console game, and we have the expertise. So being a small indie studio, everything we do in-house. We've got those dev kits set up, and we've trained ourselves to be make those games on consoles. So we're gonna do the same with Bloom. We are going to bring Bloom to more platforms, starting with PC and then Switch, and then later on with more platforms. But the plan is to expand it to more channels and more regions and so on. I think there's tons of advice on this, like starting out, and while there are so many great topics to explore, one thing people don't quite often follow or think about is the kind of games or portfolio or the company you want to be in the next 10 years, or how do you want people to see you. And one thing I've always been quite vocal about is, if obviously there's many different ways of making money in this industry, right? You can do so many things, and if the goal is to just generate money, then there are many options out there. You don't even need any advice. But as someone who's in the industry as a passionate maker, because they love making games, they want to make some great games, it's all about finding your niche. If you think that you love making things which might not be enjoyed by the masses, the key is to find your mass, basically. So if you believe the kind of games that you're making are not too traditional or standard, it's not something that you need to be disappointed about. The way of doing this is, because there's so many people playing games, right? Not everybody loves the same thing. So which the key is to, find out what you're passionate about and find your niche. Like, are there other people passionate about the same thing? And that's how it goes. So following the same route, just following the trends and creating something that's working in the market will not last for long.
Thank you for watching me on IGN India.
Follow Lucid Labs on our socials for updates, and check out Bloom, a puzzle adventure on Google and App Store, and let us know what you think.